right, I got to tell you this story. You have a liberal law professor, very esteemed. He's being ripped right now by many on the left for writing an op-ed that defended Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh. Akil Reed Amar is a professor at Yale Law School and taught Kavanaugh when he was there. After Judge Kavanaugh's nomination was announced, he obviously was happy. And he wrote a piece for the New York Times stating, quote, the liberal case for Kavanaugh, and calling him extremely qualified. In response, progressive writers, many of them, have been savaging them. You want some examples? Slate called his article complete crap. GQ called it something we cannot air. But we can air Professor Amar. He joins us right now. Professor, you knew when you wrote this that you'd get some blowback. Did you expect something like that?
Maybe it was a little more than I expected, but it comes with the territory. I love the fact that this country has robust, uninhibited, wide-open debate. It's the glory of our society. I'd prefer that it sometimes be a little less personal, but ours is a wonderful democracy.
Why do you think somebody who's been labeled a perfect judge by conservatives would do a good job on the Supreme Court?
Because I think that a great judge is open-minded and changes his or her mind sometimes, and I think I've seen those virtues in Brett Kavanaugh. A great judge is a scholar of the Constitution, a great justice in particular, because the Supreme Court really focuses a lot on constitutional issues, and I think Brett Kavanaugh has studied the Constitution deeply, and I think he's a person of good character and he's been willing to admit he's made mistakes in the past. Good. An experienced person actually has made mistakes, and a really good judge or a leader learns from those mistakes.
So when you see Chuck Schumer declare it's going to be the end of the world, the end of Roe v. Wade, end of same-sex marriage, end of freedom of expression, or things like this, what do you say to them?
I'm a very staunch believer myself in a constitutional right of same-sex marriage. I think Justice Kennedy, as the swing voter in the Obergefell case, got it right. I should remind the audience that Brett Kavanaugh clerked for Anthony Kennedy. I know them both well. I admire them both. There are actually a lot of similarities. Justice Kennedy was a staunch believer in free speech, is a staunch believer in free speech, whether it's of a conservative sort, Citizens United, or a liberal sort, a right to burn a flag. I think he was right in both of those cases, and I think that Brett Kavanaugh is a staunch believer in freedom of expression.
People, even Jeffrey Toobin said no one can say he's not qualified. You say if you're going to vote no, you tell Democrats on Kavanaugh, publicly name at least two clearly better candidates whom a Republican president would realistically have nominated. That's what got under people's skin. Why does that work for you?
Well, and your audience should know that I supported Merrick Garland. I voted for Hillary Clinton, but the way our Constitution is set up, it's a process in which the President nominates, the Senate confirms. Ours is a two-party system where one party controls both the presidency and the Senate. As a practical matter, and has given us a list of people that are being under strongly considered. If you pick someone else off the list who's better, I can't think of anyone, or tell us why it's an inadequate list.
Professor, you're just saying these are the rules, these are the laws, this is the Constitution, it's simple. Sorry you're getting this backlash, but welcome to our world. Professor, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
All right, 17 minutes before the top of the hour. NFL owners tried to put a stop to anthem protests. They did it in May. But now the players are taking action to protect